Yo, what is going on, guys? Star Wars Verse here, and welcome back to another video on Star Wars. And this will be my first episode on the character explained series that I've talked about in my first video. So today we are going over probably one of my most favorite Siths slash Jedis ever, and he is definitely one of the most powerful out there as well. And his story is also very interesting. That's why I wanted to go over him first, and that is Darth Revan from the Old Republic. So he may not be familiar to those who only watch the movies, but he may be familiar to like those Star Wars tryhards. So yeah, this is why I'm making a video, so all of you Star Wars fans could know more about this character. Before I do that though, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Star Wars content coming your way. Okay, so Revan was taken in a young age, just like every other Padawan, to become an apprentice by Kreia. But for those who are interested, she does end up becoming a Sith. Later calls herself like Darth Vader or something, whatever it was. Now, masters were concerned about the way Kreia trained Revan due to how quickly he improved and how like he mastered like everything so quickly and stuff, and how powerful he was. Revan then later on became one of the best and most powerful Padawans the Jedi's masters have ever seen. He then becomes a Jedi Knight. Now, Revan tries to leave the Jedi Order, and then Revan also like creates a group of Jedis due to the crisis that the Mandalorians gave because they wanted to expand their empire. So Revan and his Jedis went to Cathar and fought, but whilst fighting, they saw a vision that showed them all the horrible stuff that the Mandalorians have done. Now, this is where the mask comes in play. Revan takes a fallen Mandalorian mask and he puts it on, and he promises himself that he wouldn't take this mask off until all the Mandalorians were defeated. Now, speaking of Mandalorians, season finale is out for season 1. I haven't caught up with it yet, but yeah, just in case you guys were interested. Now, later on, the Jedis were pressured and approved of Revan's mission, and during these wars, Revan did things which moved him closer to the dark side. Revan then goes against Mandalore and defeats him pretty easily on a one-on-one combat, and he ends the Mandalorians. However, before Mandalore got defeated, he reveals that he didn't actually want to go into war and stuff. It was just that a Sith like forced him to do it, and that ended up being the Emperor, not Emperor Palpatine, but Emperor Vitiate. Now, due to this, Revan and Malak, who is his friend, were considered the guardians for saving the world against the Mandalorian crisis. But their journey didn't end over there. They traveled the galaxy to find this mysterious Sith Lord. They then ended up finding him, and they go to confront him. But what they didn't know was that Emperor Vitiate was already expecting them to come all along, and he shows these two people how incredibly powerful he is, and he turns these two Jedis into Siths. So one becomes Darth Revan, the other one becomes Darth Malak. Revan then finds this thing called the Star Forge and uses it to create warships so they could attack the Republic the way that they wanted to. Due to this, the Sith and Jedi have like a massive war, but due to Revan being familiar with the Jedi, he knew what they were going to do, so the Jedi lost. Now Revan set these as Sith assassins as well to turn these Jedis and like corrupt them and basically turn them to the dark side. Now Darth Malak wants to do his own stuff, and we get a lightsaber battle between Revan and Malak to see who becomes like the, I don't know, leader if you want to call it. Now this then leads to Revan slicing Malak's jaw, leading him to wear that like metallic thingy. Now in this fight, Malak nearly killed Revan, Now, thanks to a Jedi survivor, Bastila Shan, she ends up saving Revan and takes him to the Jedi Council to face trial, whilst Malik thinks he's killed Revan. Now, instead of arresting him, the Jedi's use the Force to wipe out Revan's memories as a Sith. Now, they did this because they saw something in Revan. They knew he was the only one powerful enough to defeat Malik. Now, eventually, Revan does end up defeating Malik. Now, because of these memory wipes, many years later he starts getting visions that don't make sense to him, but in reality it was his times as a Sith in his past. And when looking for answers, he got captured by the Emperor Darth Vitiate again. And he was held captive for years and got tortured pretty badly, as you would imagine, because he's captured by the Emperor. And by the way, this Emperor Darth Vitiate, I will do another episode for him, but just so you guys get a background, even the Siths hated him so much. That's how evil and powerful he was. So you could link the tortures in that, and you could basically assume how badly Revan got tortured. However, the Jedi do end up saving Revan afterwards, but due to all this hate that he had in him, he channels the dark side within him and attempts to kill the Emperor. But then Revan gets killed by the Sith warriors. But due to that hatred and desire to kill the Emperor so badly, just like Darth Maul, how he wanted to kill Obi-Wan so badly for what he did to him, different story, but Revan instead he managed to split his mind into two. One side embracing the dark, the other one embracing the light side. He was able to overcome death and resurrect his own body as well. Pretty much the same thing as Darth Maul, where he has all that hate and revenge so badly that he managed to survive getting his legs chopped off and falls all the way down, and then getting his spider legs. Now, as Dark Revan, he continued his mission to haunt this Emperor, but he finds out that the Emperor had been killed by the Jedi way before. But he knew the Emperor's spirit would still remain, so he makes this plan on resurrecting it, and so he could fully get rid of it. Now the Jedi and the Sith both disagreed with this, and they went against Revan. Now Revan then got defeated by Master Satel Shan, who I will also do an episode on, and Darth Mar. Now the Emperor did return again, so it wouldn't have mattered if Revan's plan failed. Now Revan managed to merge back into his physical form and light side, and this restores his mind. He then disappears and only his helmet and lightsaber remains. Now that is pretty much it for Darth Revan. So the next thing I will go over is Darth Bane, because he does adopt the way Revan learned stuff and things like that. So it would make sense because it does link to him. So that's why I want to do Darth Bane afterwards. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video, guys. So if you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.